Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker is a film 40 years in the making. Not really, but kind of. As usual, the fans and the critics don't really see eye to eye with each other. I myself happen to be a Star Wars fan that always agrees with the film critics, like 100%. Whatever they say are usually my thoughts. But I also really enjoyed this movie, so I'm kind of like in both. Here's my review of The Rise of Skywalker. There will be spoilers. Hello there, and welcome to Star Wars in Real Life, where we fill our lives with Star Wars because real life, it can be a little lame sometimes, but Star Wars isn't. And at first, I was kind of disappointed by The Rise of Skywalker, not gonna lie. In fact, I was so disappointed that I even made a 10-minute video of just me being a sad boy in front of the camera. I don't know why you would, but if you want to watch it, that's right up there. My first time seeing the movie, I went into the theater with geeks and gamers having corrupted my mind, and it took a couple days for that to go away. Actually, because of a lot of you guys. Like, I would say 90% of the comments of that video were really positive. You guys were saying how much you liked the movie, how satisfying of an ending it was to the saga, how much you guys appreciated J.J. Abrams, and even appreciated that while this movie isn't perfect, it was perfect for you. And that, for me, is personally really inspiring, and it really helped me go into the theater a second time with a much better mindset. And now I love it. I love the movie. I said in that video that one day my feelings would change about this movie, that eventually I would love it. I just never thought that day would come so soon. So thank all of you. And as a special way of saying thank you, I have a special surprise for you all the way at the end of the video, so stick around. Guys, there's a lot going on in The Rise of Skywalker. Let's start with one of my favorite quotes in the entire movie. If this mission fails, it was all for nothing.
All we've done all this time.
For me, this quote means everything. It doesn't just represent the mission that they're on in the moment, but all of the missions in all of the Star Wars movies. It's all been leading up to this moment. Everything has happened for a reason to bring balance to the Force. And if this mission, this movie fails, 9 Star Wars movies, it was all for nothing. Everything everyone has done all that time. I really like the quote because it really establishes the stakes of this movie in just a few lines. It's pretty good. Poe says it first, C-3PO says it next. I don't think anyone else says it, but speaking of C-3PO, let's talk about humor. There was a lot of it, and I liked it. Pretty much, I would say, like almost all of the humor landed really well with me. Even that joke with like C-3PO and Finn and Poe, it's not really a joke. It's the they fly now scene. It actually wasn't that cringy in the movie. I think because humor had already been established in the movie, so it wasn't like so out of place as it was in the trailer. I just think it's funny how like C-3PO reacts to stuff. It's like, oh! Oh, what else? Dio. We got a new droid. 3PO was like about to sacrifice his memory for his friends for the mission. Moment of silence. Sad. That's all he says. Perfect. Then Babu Freak. Babu Freak. I love Babu Freak. He is the best. He's pretty much up there with like Baby Yoda, Porgs, Ewoks. Not in cuteness. Babu's kind of gross looking, but in like comedic timing? I don't know. He's hilarious. C-3PO had just had his mind wiped. The character is basically dead. He's a completely new droid. And then he wakes up. He's like, I am C-3PO, human-cyborg relations. Hello, I Babu Freak. This guy literally just erased his mind. And I don't know, it really landed with me. Joking aside, that was a very dramatic scene, very emotional, very courageous of 3PO to sacrifice himself for the mission. Oh, except not at all, because R2 just happened to have a very up-to-date memory backup for 3PO. So that entire scene is just kind of meaningless now. There's no significance to his sacrifice, which is kind of a shame and kind of a waste of screen time in my opinion. And you know what? There are several instances in this movie where I'm just baffled by the narrative decisions that were made. Another one of those decisions was killing Chewbacca and then not killing Chewbacca. As much as I love Chewie, I think I would have been okay with Rey accidentally killing him like we thought she did. Mainly because of Daisy Ridley's performance in that scene, which I thought was great. When she screamed Chewie at like the top of her lungs with a more, I guess, like feminine, young person kind of tonality, you know what I'm talking about. She's such a strong, like, OP character, and she is. Like, especially in this movie, she's very overpowered. But she's such a strong character that it's easy to forget she's just 20 years old. She like just finished being a teenager. She's a baby. She's a girl. And that girl came out, like we heard that girl when she screamed Chewie, and that destroyed me. That made my heart stop. I wasn't even in the theater anymore. I wasn't thinking about like what I had to do later, why my phone just vibrated a second ago. I was in this movie. I was Rey. I was feeling what she was feeling. Tremendous loss. If Daisy's performance wasn't as good as it was, I would not have been okay with killing Chewbacca. But it was. So I was. Until 5 minutes later when we find out that Chewie was fine. He wasn't even on the ship that she destroyed. He was like a completely different transport. And so that entire reaction, that scene, that performance means nothing now. Again, like the 3PO thing, I think is kind of a shame because it was a very dramatic, emotional moment. But Chewie is still alive, so I can't really complain about that. Especially because Chewie's reaction when he finds out that Leia had just passed away. Oh, yeah, that was the most emotional part of the movie for me. Like, that's when all of the water with the eyes, like the most for me. I cried a lot. And we wouldn't have gotten that scene if Chewie had died, so silver linings. I love Lando in this movie. I wish they used him like a little bit more, but I do love how they used him. I love that they sent Lando and Chewie to go get help for the Battle of Exegol, and I thought, okay, so I really doubt this is canon. This is just me canon. I really thought that Lando was the perfect choice for that role because of his charisma. Charisma is like the most important thing for rallying people up. Different personalities fit different roles for different missions at different times, but that was right. That was really right for me. Then when he finally shows up with half the galaxy at his side, oh my god. That was like an Avengers Endgame moment. The most epic moment of Endgame when like Captain America was on the brink of death, still managed to stand up with a little energy that he had left, and all of a sudden, Cap, can you hear me? On your left. And then we just see Anthony Mackie, Falcon, just Falcon. Millennium Falcon. Because when Lando shows up with the ships, that's like the Star Wars equivalent of on your left. Symmetry. But this movie, in Endgame, we had like a 2-3 minute scene of just portals opening all over the place and all of these characters getting back into the fight. And you're like, who is it? It's Wakanda. T'Challa! Spider-Man. Thank God for Chris Pratt. Oh, that's why this should have been 2 movies. Like, who are all of these ships? Like, they're just people? No, because look, the ghost is right there. Show me who's in the ghost. Oh my goodness, no. Speaking of the Ghost, I am super excited that the Ghost was not only in this movie, but survived the Battle of Exegol. Did you guys catch that? Like at the very end, after the entire battle, the war is won, Resistance is like back at their base, they're landing. For like a split second, you could see the Ghost in the background landing, like behind a bunch of trees. And when that happened, I was like, oh, yes! And then I remembered that I was in a theater full of other people like right next to me. So in reality, I was more like, oh, yeah. But thank you, JJ. Thank you very much for that. But all of the rest of the ships, like, who are these? They're just people? Actually, I'm okay with that too. Because of one of my other favorite quotes in this movie that gave me so much feels. General Pride of the First Order is like freaking out. He sees all these ships show up out of nowhere. He's like, who are all these ships? How did they get a navy? They don't have a navy. And one of his officers is like, that's not a navy, sir. That's just people. I love it. Have you ever seen that movie Dunkirk? It's a story of British civilians who happen to own boats. They help evacuate like hundreds of thousands of British soldiers from Dunkirk that they were all trapped on. Normal, everyday people just stepped up, volunteered for the greater good. That's a lot of what Star Wars is about for me, and I think that's why I like Rogue One so much, just because there's so much selfless teamwork, you know what I mean? Yeah, I'm for it, just people. I'm down with it just being people. Let's talk about the Force. We got some new powers. Force healing, I'm for it, and so are you. You know why? because that's Baby Yoda's super force power, and if you have a problem with force healing in this movie, then you have a problem with Baby Yoda. And I know you don't have a problem with Baby Yoda because you're a human being, you're not a monster. Real quick, do you guys think that's why they pushed the Mandalorian episode like forward a couple days to Wednesday instead of Friday? Instead of like back a week, like, sorry guys, you know, Rise of Skywalker, we're just gonna skip this week, we'll pick back up again next week. It's not what they usually do. Yeah, I think they were priming us for force healing in the Rise of Skywalker. And it worked. Force pass. That's what I'm calling it. Using the force to pass a physical object off to someone else who's not near you. We saw a little tease of this in The Last Jedi when Kylo and Rey are force Skyping. It's raining where Rey is, so when Kylo hangs up, he wipes his face and he's got water on his hand. We're like, water? This is new. J.J. Abrams saw that and he was like, oh, dude, yes. Can I roll with that? I'm gonna roll with that. Is that okay, Rian Johnson? I got ideas. And so we see force passing a couple times in this movie. First with Rey's beaded necklace, and then last when Ben is facing the Knights of Ren. Which, by the way, did you guys notice like a small glitch in the Matrix? When Ben arrives to Exegol, he's got a little gun. I couldn't really tell what kind of gun it was, but it was like pew pew, like, you know, which he used to take out the royal guards protecting what I assume is the outer perimeter of like the throne room. But then when he gets to the Knights of Ren, like the gun is just gone. What happened to it? He's got to fight them with his bare hands now. No pew pew. So yeah, force passing. I'm sure it opens up like all sorts of plot holes for previous movies, like the Hondo maneuver did for The Last Jedi. You know, all the people who were like, well, why didn't that person use it in that movie? I don't care. It's cool.
Fire on that cruiser!
And it opens doors up for like new, cooler fight scenes, you know? Case in point that now you see me, now you don't. Magic trick. Ben is getting his ass beat by the Knights of Ren because he's trying to fight them like with no weapons, just his hands and the force. Meanwhile, Rey is just sitting over there with two lightsabers, one of which she's not even using. So naturally Ben is like, excuse me, can you help me out? Okay, thank you very much. What's up? I really like that. I thought that was like the most badass thing I've ever seen until Ben just does that little like I don't even know what to call this, like a gesture. He's standing up, he's got the lightsaber after his little magic trick, and he just goes like, ta-da! JJ, did you really have to leave that in there? We were this...
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Okay, I just want to take a minute to thank some of my new patrons this month, starting with Talos Swanson, who has been a Star Wars fan his entire life. And despite preferring Legends over the new canon material, he still remains optimistic about Star Wars, which I applaud, you know, because there are tons of lifelong fans who prefer Legends and refuse to accept any of the new canon as canon, which I still don't get. Zefki, thank you for joining the First Club. For those of you who don't know, there's a tier on my Patreon page called First, where you get to watch videos before I even post them to YouTube. Sometimes you get to see videos that I never even publish to YouTube, because like maybe I'll change my mind about them just completely or something. But most of the time, you'll also see scenes that I've just completely cut from the final version of my YouTube video. So not only do you get early access, you get like exclusive access, just so you know. Thank you to Kyle Budoin, hope I'm saying that right, and Laura Dune, who happens to be a distant relative of Cara Dune from The Mandalorian. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that's a fun fact about her. And she used to play Quidditch in college, which is super funny because another patron this month, Zach Holly, also used to play Quidditch. He played in the World Cup. I didn't even know that there was a World Cup for Quidditch. That's actually really awesome. And I also didn't realize so many Star Wars fans were also Harry Potter fans. Good to know. Is that why Star Wars Theory also has a Harry Potter channel? That's why Star Wars Theory also has a Harry Potter channel. I just realized this. And lastly, thank you Eliza Johnson for being a part of The Spark, which is a secret, and I've already said too much. And finally, Jake Lee, whose favorite Star Wars book is Dark Disciple, which I've been meaning to read forever. There's a lot of books I've been meaning to read. There's just like almost too many where I can't choose. What's your favorite Star Wars book? Comment down below, help me decide what I should be reading next. So thank you all once again for being patrons, you guys rock. And now let's get back to the review. I'm just gonna cover a couple other things, like just go by it super quickly. I'm confused by Palpatine's motives. What was he trying to do the entire movie? Like at first, he wanted Rey dead, and then when she comes to his doorstep, he was like, okay, good, I've been waiting a long time for this. Can you kill me, please? Excuse me? What? You want me to kill you? That is exactly what I came here for, but now that you're asking me to kill you, I'm kind of weirded out by it. I don't think I should. Finn is force sensitive now. Cool, no problem with that. Snap, Wexley. Oh, Temmin. Where's Nora? Convenience. Too much. There's way too much convenience in this movie. Way too many things just worked out perfectly for our characters. Say, for example, Pisana. 3PO just happened to know the exact music festival that they're walking into, what kind of treats and goodies they have at the festival. First Order Stormtroop happens to be in the festival and happens to spot them in that giant crowd, and they happen to get saved by the one and only Lando Calrissian. Why is he there? Who happens to know exactly the mission that they're on, exactly what they're looking for, and also exactly where to point them to. Then Poe just happens to know exactly how to hotwire a speeder. They go on a really long speeder chase, really far away from where they started from, all the way out in the middle of a desert, and when they get shot down, they just happen to land in a very specific sinking sand pit, which very conveniently does not drown them to death. Instead, literally drops them in the exact place with the exact thing that they're looking for on the entire planet of Pisana. Too much convenience. But overall, I like the movie a lot better my second time seeing it. I know that feeling will only grow from there. I'm happy with it. Yeah, I am. But more importantly, I'm happy that so many other fans are happy with it, because I just want what's best for Star Wars, what's best for the fandom. I feel like this movie has helped heal it a little bit, has helped the fan base like stay alive, and seeing you alive brings warm feelings to my heart. And now for the surprise. I've been recently approached by a merch company who asked if I would be interested in making some merch for my channel. And I was like, I haven't really thought about it, but go ahead. And they asked me to send them some design ideas for shirts and stuff, and although I have about 1.5 billion ideas, I have zero confidence in any of them. So that's when I threw up that poll on YouTube asking you guys, hey, should I even do this? Would you guys be interested? And 69% of you said yes, so apparently we're doing this. On a side note, I have a feeling that number would have been higher had it not landed on 69%. So many of you commented down below saying, let's keep this at 69%. Woo! And literally 10,000 votes later, that percentage has not changed. Guys, I have never been so proud of a group of people in my life. So we're doing this. And we're also about to hit 50K. What? 50,000?
50,000.
That is just insane to me. Thank you all for supporting this channel, for watching my videos, for subscribing. And as a thank you, I thought it'd be a cool idea to merge those two events into one, like, 50,000 subscriber giveaway / design challenge. It's a working title. That means you guys get to tell me what you want to see in this merch lineup. You get to submit your ideas. And whoever has the best idea will have their design printed. You'll get free merch, you'll get bragging rights, you'll get a shout out, all of that stuff. But just to be clear, I'm also gonna be doing my own designs. This isn't like, hey, can you guys do all of my work for me? No. Like I said, I do have a ton of ideas and I will be sending them to this company, but you know, I thought it'd be fun to include you guys. I think it was this time last year actually. I was watching a Star Wars Theory video where like he was showing off his new Christmas merch lineup of t-shirts. I was really excited, especially because I had my own idea. I was like, oh, This is awesome. Ooh, I just got a really good idea. Oh man, I wish I could tell Star Wars Theory this. I know he would love it. I know he would make one, and I would totally buy it in a heartbeat. Should I email him? What are the odds that he's gonna read my email? So I thought I would like make that a real thing right now, like give you guys that opportunity. The odds of me seeing your design idea, reading your ideas, is 100%. So take advantage, tell me your idea. Go to my website, starwarsirl.com. Right on the home page, you will see a form where you can submit your ideas. All I need is your email and a few sentences explaining what your design idea is, or if you want to upload a picture or like a hand drawing to show me your idea, you can do that too. Or you can do both, it's up to you. But you have from now until the moment I hit 50,000 subscribers to get your ideas in. That could be 3 weeks, that could be 3 days from now. Those numbers be fluctuating like crazy. So don't wait, get your ideas in, because who knows, you could be the chosen one. Or if there's just so many great ideas where I literally can't choose just one, maybe I'll do like a top 5 and I'll have all you guys vote on the best one, like a democracy, like the Senate. Senators, I look forward to hearing your ideas. Until then, you will subscribe to my YouTube channel. We will keep on living Star Wars, and I'll see you in the next video.